Hey, what's up, everybody? Media44 coming at you with another video. So, a story's been brewing, and I ain't really been talking about it, but I should have been because it's involving two names that I talk about a lot. So, Dame Lillard apparently said that he wants to play with Ben Simmons, according to a few people around the situation. Now, I don't know if he actually said that, but it's being said that he wants this, so that's a better way to describe it. And, you know, it's one of those situations where I say the Portland Trailblazers have very few options. So if he wants to play with Ben Simmons, it's not necessarily because Ben Simmons is the player that he has picked out as the guy he wants to play with. It's because their team doesn't have a whole lot of options, and that's one of the options that they may have. So yes, he wants to get better. That's the way they can do it. Now, Portland, we got some really bad news. CJ McCollum, it was just reported, has a right collapsed lung. I do not know how that injury occurred, if it's an injury at all, if that was something that happened in something else. I don't know. Like, it just was just announced about 10 minutes ago, and I couldn't find anything on it on YouTube. So that's what we have. So obviously, if you're following the numbers, you know that CJ McCollum is the most likely trade piece for Ben Simmons. So needless to say, if those deals are being talked behind the scenes, this puts a huge snag in it, massive snag in it. Basically, takes it off the table. So um, we'll have to see what goes on with CJ McCollum. But even even as is, I think it's still worth talking about because I literally don't think that that deal is dead just because CJ has this health issue. I don't believe that. I think you're thinking long term when you're considering this trade. Now, if you don't want to do the trade uh, because of the lung, it's because you then find out that the lung is a something that's going to linger and it's going to threaten his career. Other than that, it's just about how long it's going to take him to heal from it. So, of course, we will listen to hear what's next. Um, and we want him to have a speedy recovery independent of all of this, including basketball. But I think, back to the basketball conversation, just to get back on track, Ben Simmons and Portland Trailblazers and the Portland Trailblazers are a good fit. We've come to terms with that earlier in the season when we were trying to decipher places that he could go to. And the reason why it works is because he can help facilitate the basketball to all of the other players on that Portland Trailblazer team that needs to be featured more, because that's one of the issues that they've had in Portland is not developing players properly. Ben Simmons solves that issue by effectively giving you one of the best facilitators in basketball who will get the ball to all of those kids like Simons and all those different dudes on that team, Nas Little and those guys, that will make them better, raise their overall value and make them a better overall team. Plus, they're one of the more deficient defensive teams in basketball. Ben Simmons is one of the best defensive players in basketball. So that's a match made in heaven in that regard. Um, Portland has significant financial issues that we've talked about at length on this channel. Ben Simmons does not help with that, but what he does do is make them significantly better with the same financial problems, which is obviously a good thing. If you can't fix your problems, you want to be doing better while you have them. So I think it's a no-brainer for Portland. I think the question is, do you want to give up CJ McCollum for him? And the answer is, well, I mean, you have to, basically, to make the numbers work. So in my mind, the answer is yes. Now, if I'm Philly, I wouldn't mind having CJ McCollum at all, a healthy CJ McCollum, of course. But I don't think that CJ really moves the needle for me if I'm Philly. He makes us better, and with him, I think we can win. But does he give me what I need in return for Ben Simmons if I'm Philly? No. If I'm Portland, I don't care about that because I'm looking at Ben Simmons like a salary dump. So I'm telling him I'm not even giving you CJ for him. But that's just me. I'm sure they would be willing to give CJ away for Ben Simmons if that's something they would be willing to do. Then I'd imagine those talks are already being done. So this injury is really tough, man. CJ's situation is tough for Portland because everything they have going on is time sensitive. Because at the end of the day, if you make this move, you're doing it because you think Ben Simmons can not only make you better but can help you win now. Because the timeline for Dame is right here and now. So that's the only reason why you do this. I think CJ gives you a better chance at a longer term future in some ways because CJ's a more balanced player to keep in a system that changes. Ben Simmons is a player you have to continue to apply intent in terms of building around, as to where CJ fits in any system, basically. So for me, that would be you're bringing in a problem in Ben Simmons in terms of not a problem as you would equate it in normal conversations, but for me, I'm thinking it in terms of if you're the GM trying to build around this team, now you have a big, huge piece that must have specific pieces attached to him in order for him to work. And if you don't bring him those exact type of pieces, then you got a really, really bad situation on your hands with your team. So you couple that with Dame Lillard already on contract. That's 2 max contracts. You're going to have to find some really solid role players that are going to fit. So I think it's a good problem to have. Dame is a perfect star that I would put next to Ben Simmons if I were building around him, which is why this works for me. I just want to see what else Portland's able to do with their limited cap situation because, again, their cap situation is bad. So, trying to put the team together, they're going to look a lot like the Lakers. To be completely honest with you, that's how they're going to look. Because their cap situation is as it is. So they're going to get those type of role players over time, over the next 2 years, if they were to build around those 2 guys, which is what they have right now, to be honest with you. If you really look at their role situation right now, it's not good. So it's because of their cap. But all in all, I do think Ben makes them a lot better. He gets more out of the players that they already have, and that's ultimately what they need. So more Portland talk. I've been hearing there's rumors that things are starting to get shaky with Chauncey Billups and the players. I think that just comes from the fact that this is all very new. Everybody's new. Chauncey's new. So, I think it's just a situation where when you're not winning and you got a new coach and it's just not working, everybody's upset. So that's to be expected under these circumstances. But I do think that Portland has the right coach in place. He's getting the most out of the players that are on that team, for which is what they need. So I just say it's going to be a long season. They're not a good team. But if they can get better, they should probably look to do that. So that's what I got to say, man. Portland, man. Hopefully CJ McCollum gets healthy and, Portland's able to trade him away for Ben Simmons. I think that'd be best for everybody, really. So that's what I got. Video 44. Thanks for watching. Peace.